Hello, my beautiful movie people. Thank you so much for clicking on another episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. We got a lot to dive into here today, and some of the stuff is pissing me off. Some of the stuff we're going to be talking about here today is the shocking news that Halloween Ends will be going to streaming, the Batman 2 moving forward, and Warner Brothers showing how much they love Matt Reeves. But also on the flip side of that, more weird and outrageous things that Warner Brothers and Discovery are doing. And I'm just like, why? That along with so much more. So many of you movie fans give me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. But without further ado, let's just dive into it. This movie news story we got here is a minor update on the upcoming soft reboot that Disney's working on for the Planet of the Apes franchise. It was reported by Deadline that Owen Tegu is set to star in the film, and he will be playing our new lead ape. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this isn't an actor I'm familiar with, but I still thought it was really interesting to bring up because we're essentially looking at the next Andy Serkis for what is the Planet of the Apes franchise. Most of you guys know Andy Serkis played Caesar in that series, and now this will be the new lead character we're going to be following for what Disney hopes to make a new trilogy with. I'm just still so fascinated to what Disney has in mind with the Planet of the Apes franchise. What story are they coming up with? Because from what we're told, it's still taking place within the world Matt Reeves set up, but it'll be several years later down the line, so most likely the great-grandchild of Caesar. The title that we had heard was attached to this movie was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, so it could have something to do with maybe the ancestor of Caesar fighting back to own that kingdom, or maybe someone else fighting against them. Either way, we can admit the standards are set so high for this movie, and I wish all the luck in the world to this actor and director Westball for trying to bring that to life. But I throw it off to you guys now that we know we have our lead ape for the Planet of the Apes franchise. Are you excited? Moving on from there, something I'm still extremely excited about and happy it's basically done filming. We got here the reports that Insidious 5 has wrapped up shooting, and we also have a couple of set photos letting us know what the possible title is. Thanks to some set photos that landed online the other day, we know the new Insidious movie is being called Insidious 5: Fear the Dark. Now, this is kind of surprising to me for a couple of reasons here, because after the second Insidious movie, they went on and told different stories with other people being haunted through the Insidious world. Some of them prequels, some of them sequels, but they still retain the number. The thing that was really appealing to me about Insidious 5 is it would be going back to that original family from the first two movies, following them 10 years later after their haunting, where their kid is about to head off to college and then things start going crazy. So it's kind of interesting that they would keep the 5 when technically this is more Insidious 3 than the other one. It's also interesting even seeing some of these set photos here. One, we have the family returning all grown up at a funeral. Somebody died. And there was even other set photos from the set of the movie where it looks like we will be going to the college campus where the kid is headed off to. I still just really have fond memories of those first two Insidious movies and remembering them scaring the crap out of me even though they were PG-13. So I'm kind of really excited to have this family back and see what else they could do. But I throw it up to you. You hear the title for Insidious 5. Do you think they will keep the 5 or drop it, as well as what you thought of some of these set photos? No. What? Why? This is, you get to see me react to this. They're gonna release Halloween Ends in theaters and on Peacock on the same day again? How does that make sense financially? Let me watch this video.
So starting on October 14th, you can go to the theater to see Laurie and Michael confront each other for the last time, or you can watch it at home on Peacock.
I am honestly so shocked right now that Universal decided to release Halloween Ends simultaneously on Peacock and in theaters the day it opens. Like, I completely understand why that happened last year, because we were in the pandemic and it wasn't safe for a lot of people to go out in theaters, or heck, some places just didn't even have a theater open and they didn't want to miss out on Halloween Kills, so people got to go see it in theaters and on Peacock, and the movie made money. That's the benefit that Blumhouse has when they make their horror movies so damn cheap. When it's a big IP property like Michael Myers and Halloween, you're bound to make money either way. But let me tell you, I thought those days were over. I thought we're never really gonna see that again. Even Warner Brothers has basically made it clear lately how dumb of a decision that was and how much money they lost out on when they did that HBO Max deal of releasing movies and in theaters on the same day. And now that we're getting Halloween Ends, the final chapter in the Blumhouse trilogy that is set to be the final installment, we know it won't be, but but for all intents and purposes is being marketed as the final installment. And movie fans know when you say this is the last installment of a popular franchise, people show up to the theater, people go, they want to be part of that event, celebrate it, and go, I was there when that movie ended, man, it was awesome. So to see them release this video with Jamie Lee Curtis mentioning that they noticed last year people went to the theater and still signed up for our streaming service, so we got the best of both worlds, but it's like, I still think financially that is a stupid decision. You know how much piracy happens once your movie goes to streaming? That's basically you uploading the full movie on the internet for free, and people will find a way to watch it for free. Like, I have no doubt they'll still make a whole bunch of money and people will be going to the theater to watch it because that's just the experience and people are getting in the habit of going back. But I think you could have made so much more money if you're not doing this. This, I guess, also goes to show you how committed Universal is to their Peacock service, how much they still want that to compete with people like Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, when I'm like, I don't know if that many people are signed up for it. But now with all my crying and complaining, acting like it's my money they're hurting over here, as a consumer, this is fantastic, man. I mean, you get to go to the theater, which is what I'm going to do for Michael Myers, see the movie, experience it, have fun with it, and that same day, I can drive home and hit play again on my TV. That's freaking awesome. And now there's some families that have a large crowd of family that it's too expensive to go to the theater, that they can enjoy it now or just feel safer at home surrounded by all their horror goodness stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a benefit, but I guess I'm just thinking on the business perspective and how I just don't see why they would do that. All that's really left now is for us to get another trailer for Halloween Ends, which I'm sure we're probably going to get this week with this announcement now. And that's what I'm excited for because we'll get a better idea of the story and what's going on in it. But I throw it off to you guys. You hear Halloween Ends is like the only studio still sticking with the pandemic thought of releasing it in theaters and on streaming. Good or bad idea? It's gonna make money either way, but I feel it could have made so much more. Next movie news story, we got here a brand new look at the Iron Man suit Riri Williams will be wearing for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I was not expecting this. Just as a quick summary for some of you who forgot, Ironheart is a brand new character being introduced in Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. She's essentially a super smart, intelligent kid who builds an Iron Man suit from the inside of her dorm room, and she'll even be getting her own Disney Plus series. Well, with her showing up in Black Panther 2, it was obvious she would be getting one of her suits, and we had already gotten a look at her Mark 1 suit, which I thought this was like the only thing we would be getting from Black Panther 2, but looks like I was wrong, because toys from the movie have shown that we will also be seeing Riri Williams' Mark II suit that is way more comic accurate to what we've been seeing before. Here, taking a look at it, I like it. I think it's suitable enough. I like how they have the little heart as the chest. That kind of goes in with her name, Ironheart. The toy itself, I think, is not doing it justice because I think it looks much better in the concept art on the actual box when it's all lit up, details, and in depth. My main surprise with this is, dang, they have a lot in Black Panther 2 to kind of show off, and that's kind of become a lot of the problem with some of these Marvel movies lately. It's all set up, build up, introductions, and then sometimes it feels like the story is put in last place to focus on. I still think they could definitely pull it off, but let me tell you, they have a lot of juggle in here. Explaining T'Challa's death, introducing Riri Williams, having her build her first suit, then having her get her second suit, introducing their version of Atlantis, Namor thrown in there, who the new Black Panther is. Marvel has been known to pull off juggling big and tremendous ideas, but let me tell you, this one seems like it's going to be a tough one. But even more mind-blowing, this is a character we have yet to meet in the MCU, and they already have 3 different suits that we have seen through leaks and set photos. Wild. What do you guys think of Ironheart's new suit for Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever? Moving on here, talking about some Warner Brothers and Discovery, because man, the mess continues on, and I don't know what's going on with this company. The first part of this that we're going to discuss here today is putting some Batman fans at ease that the Batman 2 and the Batman world is as safe as can be and moving really strong forward. Because we have Deadline here that reported Matt Reeves has signed a multi-year first look film deal at Warner Brothers and re-ups with Warner Brothers Television. Now, these first look film deals are kind of a big deal, especially with a studio and a creative head like Matt Reeves, because it means anytime Matt Reeves has an idea for a movie or a TV show, he is now contractually obligated to go to Warner Brothers first and say, this is what I want to do. Are you interested? And they'll most likely say yes, because that's the whole point of doing this thing. But along with this announcement, they make it clear in the article that Matt Reeves is hard at work with the second Batman film. He's set to be writing it very soon, and even people involved at Warner Brothers are saying things like, we're making an investment for whatever Matt feels a pull towards in the Batman universe and otherwise. He has an open invitation to go wherever his interests take him. Now, this maybe isn't a surprise to a lot of people who had faith that Warner Bros. And Discovery would continue on with Robert Pattinson's Batman world, but we were starting to get worried, man, because in the past couple of weeks, Discovery and Warner Bros. Have made some interesting choices in the things they've decided to cancel, stop moving forward, and all these talks about their 10-year plan and making some new creative heads for their DC universe. We thought, oh crap, is the Batman about to get scrapped? Even more when we heard that they hadn't officially greenlit Batman 2 yet. We were like, okay, should we panic? Because, like, I love this Batman movie, and if you just stop at that first film, I am gonna be beyond pissed. But here, this should put all our minds at ease. Warner Brothers is clearly saying, Matt Reeves, we think you're a genius. We think whatever you do is awesome. We want more of your Batman world. He's gonna continue on with the Penguin series, possibly that Arkham series that is in the works, and they want the Batman 2 and probably a whole lot more. So this is a good sign for us Batman fans, and I guess it was easier for Warner Brothers since the Batman is kind of in his own separate world, not connected to the DCEU and whatnot. So really, thank freaking goodness, and I am hyped to see what else they do in that Batman world. So yes, let's look forward to that, but now let's jump over to the other crazy stuff that really made me mad yesterday. So lately, Warner Bros. And Discovery have been canceling so many animated projects. It feels like they're just basically tearing down their entire animation department and they don't believe in it, which I think is ridiculous because I think animation is some of the best form of media content out there. Because along with the cancellation of Batgirl, when that happened, they also canceled that upcoming Scoop prequel that I was excited for. But now we're getting here the reports of these couple of projects that are no longer going to be moving forward with HBO Max and are essentially canceled, but at least with these projects, Warner Brothers is trying to sell them to other networks or streaming services because they don't want it for some reason. And that includes the animated Batman series, The Caped Crusader, that had Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams, and Bruce Timm attached, the man who gave us the original animated Batman series that is like the most iconic animated series for a superhero. The excitement I had when this thing was announced and how it was being marketed, it would have adult themes, a little bit more mature, tap into the psychology of Batman, also have like a progressionary thing where the first season he'll start out very small, low tech, and then grow as the Batman we know over time. Like, everything seemed right on the money with this thing. Zaslav and Discovery took a look at it and said, we don't want that on our streaming service. Let's sell it and see who wants it. Like, this thing was going to be on Cartoon Network and on HBO Max simultaneously. And that wasn't like the only Batman project canceled. They also canceled this little animated holiday movie that actually sounded like a great idea that was titled Merry Little Batman, where it was going to follow Damian Wayne, the son of Batman, who is left home alone in the mansion of Bruce Wayne until some bad guys show up trying to sneak into the Batcave, and Damian Wayne is left to defend his house. Basically Home Alone with Robin and the Batman characters. That is an awesome idea for a Batman movie. They looked at that and said, we don't want it. Let's sell it to someone else. And don't even get me started on them doing the same things to their upcoming Looney Tunes movies. We haven't had these big marketed Looney Tune animated films in forever. One was going to be starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, titled The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, and then Bye Bye Bunny, a Looney Tunes musical starring Bugs Bunny. I was like, freaking finally, Warner Brothers is paying attention to their Looney Tunes characters, because last time it was just with Space Jam 2, and I know not everyone loved that movie, but hey, I was happy to get some Looney Tunes in my life. Now these two Looney Tunes movies, they looked at them, and again they said, we don't want that. Let's sell it to someone else. They even did this to the Amazing World of Gumball movie that was going to be happening on HBO Max. So it's like, what's happening at Discovery? Why are they doing this? It's so confusing to me, because when Zaslav got onto that Investor Day meeting and was talking about the future for Warner Brothers, he name drops Batman and the Looney Tunes as important power IPs for their company and driving them forward. He even had their logos on a little slideshow showing you how important they were to the company. So now when you have projects with those characters, you're like, yeah, we're not going to benefit from these. Netflix, Hulu, any other streaming service or network out there, you want these? discounted price. Like, what the heck, man? That just pisses me off, man. I really wanted to give the benefit of the doubt to Discovery, and who knows, maybe like 5-6 years down the line, all of this was worth the cancellations and they've got some stuff done, but they're just canceling so many people's hard work, throwing them off to the side like it means nothing. And I know it's just business, but at a certain point, it just starts to feel personal and specifically attacking the animated community. The good thing is these projects will still see the light of day, most likely. There is still the off chance that no network or streaming service wants these movies, so they don't bid on them and they just end up being canceled like Batgirl and Scoob. But I gotta believe Hulu or Netflix see the value in an animated Batman series by Bruce Timm with J.J. Abrams attached. Everything that was coming up with this, someone is going to buy that Batman show, and I'm going to be so happy and thankful for them. But Merry Little Batman and these Looney Tune movies, I don't know if networks or streaming services would be willing to spend the money. This also just makes me wonder, what is your streaming service going to look like in 2023 when you combine it? Because that's what they said. The HBO Max and Discovery Plus will be turned into some brand new service in 2023 with everything you're canceling and all this content you could have had on it. It makes me think it is going to be all reality shows, cooking shows, house hunting shows, and very little traditional media shows like this that are written out or animated stuff. Like, come on. I want to know from you guys, what do you think of these cancellations and them not moving forward with an animated Batman series that had like all the makings to be a successful hit? And they said, no thank you. But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time and day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.